आप सबको मोक्ष की राह पर लेके जाऊंगा। जपना, जपना, जपना।
पुराने जैसा आश्रम ना है ये।
बाबा साहब जो कर रहे हैं ना, वो ना कोई कर रहा है और ना कर सकता है।
हमारे देश में लोग विश्वास करना शुरू करते हैं तो बाढ़ सी आ जाती है।
जब तक बाबा जी जैसे महापुरुष हैं, तब तक हमारे समाज को आगे जाने से कोई नहीं रोक सकता।
बाबा निराला काशीपुर वाला ये कुछ ज्यादा ही तेजी से आगे बढ़ रहा है।
मैं उपदेश नहीं, संदेश देता हूँ, शांति का।
He is not a godman. He is conmen.
सौंप दो अपना सब, मोह माया मन धन तन सब, फिर देखो कैसा आनंद मिलता है।
पिछले 3 साल में 9 लड़कियों के गायब होने की रिपोर्ट है।
इतनी सारी लड़कियां मिल कहां से जाती हैं बाबा? तो
एक बार जो आश्रम आ गया ना, तो यू टर्न तो ना है कोई।
हम डरते हैं, इसीलिए दबा के रखते हैं वो।
आज के जमाने में राजाओं की नहीं, हमारी चलती है, हमारी।
राजनीति खेल रहा है ये बाबा।
और ऐसे ही क्या जो इतनी जल्दी पता चल जाए।
भ्रष्टाचार तो हुआ ही है, साथ में हत्या भी हुई है।
नीचे से ऊपर तक कोई नहीं चाहता कि इन्वेस्टिगेशन आगे बढ़े।
ये सेवा की भावना ने लालच लेके आया है तुझे। कब तक बर्बाद होते रहोगे? जीते जी स्वर्ग में जीने का मौका मिल रहा है।
I'm Seher Zama, and the reality that this show Aashram touches upon is what we're going to be discussing here on this very special episode of The Big Story. In India, as we know, religion is a very important part of most of our homes, a very important part of our life. Some call it spirituality, some call it innocent, blind faith. But the bitter truth also is that it's not always very simple, very sweet and innocent. There are actually conmen acting in the guise of godmen and abusing this very simplicity, this very innocence of people, abusing to the extent of grave crimes that have been committed by them, abusing to the extent of harming their own disciples. There have been so many cases across India. Some are accused, some are arrested, some are convicted, while there are still some who are on the most wanted list of the Interpol as well. This new series on the OTT platform MX Player, which is called Aashram, touches upon just that. You saw a sneak peek into that while we started this show. It is getting in rave reviews. So we're going to be speaking with the team of Aashram right here with us. We'll have the director of the series, Mr. Prakash Jha, and we have the lead actor who's playing Baba Nirala, Mr. Bobby Deol with us. Thank you so much for being with us. Bobby Deol, my first question to you here. First of all, congratulations. Yes, because your performance has been so well received as well. We're going to talk about the preparations that went behind the scenes for this performance, because this is a very crooked role that you're playing, very unlike the sweet romantic chocolate boy image that you've had. But when you were first approached with this role, with the storyline, how convinced were you that this is largely going to be accepted by viewers, by people? Because there are still who would still be in denial that godmen cannot really be conmen, and they could be offended as well by watching what they see.
The thing is, it's been a conscious effort and on my part to choose characters which are very different from what I've always played in my career. And it's been very difficult to find characters like that, because usually once you have an image in the industry, you only approach with those kind of characters. So for me, just to get a call from Prakash Ji was an amazing moment, because I've been in this industry for 25 years, and I met Prakash Ji years back when I was dubbing for Gupt at BR Studios. And then after that, we tried to work together. It never happened. Okay. And then finally, when I got this call, the casting agent, Shruti Mahajan, she approached me and said that Prakash Ji has come up with this web series. He wants you to play a part in it. So there I was sitting in front of Prakash Ji the next day itself, and I was just excited. And he narrated the idea to me. And I loved the idea. thought that it is such an amazing topic and such a current topic about how our society is, what it's dealing with, the issues it's dealing with. And but in the end of the narration, he said, "Okay, I want you to play the Baba's character." And I was like, for a few seconds, I was like, "Excuse me, did I hear you? I mean, am I hearing things right?" And then it was that moment where I got the confidence that Prakash Ji had so much faith in me, and that's why he chose me for this character. So that was the beginning of Aashram for me. And we sat, we discussed. He said, "You know, you're the kind of character you are. People are just in awe of you. You know, there's an aura around you. People are mesmerized by you just by the way you look at them, the way you speak to them. So just keep that in mind. And besides that, this is a script. This is your guide. Read the script, and this is what I want you to play. There's no reference. There's nothing. This is a fiction, and I just want you to follow what's written in the script." And that's what I did. But the most difficult part for me in the beginning was to get my lines right, because a con man, usually all the con men have the gift of the gab. They use their words in such ways that people get charmed by them. So I sat with Sunita Ji. She's an amazing lady. She's worked with Prakash Ji in past. And I spent a month and a half, 4 hours every day going through my lines, understanding every word, what it means. And so that really helped me while I was performing. So that's the preparation I went through. And besides that, Prakash Ji is an amazing filmmaker. For me, working with Prakash Ji, I mean, him being in front of you, you just feel so guided, even if he didn't have to say anything. All he had to do was come and say a little bit here, a little bit there, the way he felt I should approach it. And that was it. So it has been a great journey. And I'm so happy today that I'm here sitting and chatting with you. And also because of the appreciation. I mean, I'm so touched by the appreciation and the love that's been showered on us, the whole team of Aashram and me. And I feel so blessed today.
Right, but as you say, there are so many more layers to this character, Baba Nirala, that you're playing. It's saintly and sweet on the front, and yet you still have to show a very crooked, sinister part of the character here as well. How difficult was that? Was it really a tightrope walk? Because you have to be showing all aspects of this character, even in one given scene itself.
Every individual, human beings basically, the only way that each of us have good and bad in us, you know, it just makes us a better person if we can control the bad in us. Because humans by nature are greedy, selfish, egoistic, ruthless, you know. So when I was performing as this character who's actually a criminal, a con man, I just let those feelings, those emotions come out. You know, for me, it was playing a character who I mean, a fictitious character who I'm trying to portray. So these feelings are what this character is all about. I mean, he's ruthless, he's selfish, he's power hungry. So that's the thought I had in my mind while I was performing. And also because my aura of a Baba becomes such that even if he speaks in a very calm manner, it really works, because I didn't want to make it caricaturish, you know, like people believe the Baba has to be like this, or he speaks like this, or things like that. I just wanted to play it in a very cool and composed manner.
All right. We're going to be asking this to the director, Mr. Prakash Jha, with us joining part of this conversation in just a bit here. But Bobby, for you, how... All right. In fact, we connected with the director, Mr. Prakash Jha. Welcome to this show. Thank you so much for being with us. And first of all, congratulations for yet another production. Not technically a movie. This is on the OTT platform, though it has been made in Bollywood style. But it is yet another successful. I mean, it's been receiving great reviews. So congratulations to you for that.
Thank you very much. Pleasure talking to you.
Mr. Prakash Jha, what were your concerns when this idea first came to you? Yes. Were there fears that this would tend to be too predictable for people, because there have been several cases in the recent past where godmen have been arrested, a lot of their crime has been out in the public domain, they have been convicted, they're on the Interpol list of most wanted if they've run away from the country. What were your fears, number one, regarding the predictability of what you were showing in Aashram, and secondly, did you ever think that you would end up offending people here? Because there are people who still take godmen with great reverence and have that absolute faith, and are refusing to believe that they can actually trick you.
Well, thank you for the question, but the fact is that this whole developed story of Aashram was actually brought to me by the platform. Habib Faisal had written it very elaborately, but it was about 70 pages that he had spread the story. And I found it very interesting that in spite of almost everything about these godmen being in public domain, he had very, very nicely woven the characters, the incidents, the drama, the kind of like, the cobweb which these godmen actually weave. And it was very interesting, both from the common man's point of view, who actually entrust their faith into these fake criminal kind of people who masquerade as Babas, bringing disrepute to religion, to dharma, to spirituality, to the great sons and seekers which we treasure and which we revere. But the whole equation which works on the surface between these people, their operators, the politicians, the various other agents of the society, that was very interestingly put, and I did see a good opportunity to explore this.
Right. Was there one particular such conmen that you had in mind, or were there several examples across the board, Mr. Prakash Jha?
No, we never made any reference to any existing or past or living godmen or babas as such, because the story itself, the story of this conman who is a small-time criminal and who kind of is able to impress on people and make people believe about his, believe in him. That itself was very interesting. Honestly speaking, we didn't make any reference. We didn't take any reference from any existing ones.
All right, because of course there are some very striking similarities. Yes, of course it has mixed around with several such real cases that have been reported here. Bobby, for you, do you think that this is a role that would bring about or has already brought about a paradigm shift in your career, and also marking a very successful innings now on the OTT platform?
See, it's. I think I still feel I'm dreaming that the way people have responded to my work and my series, it's just something an actor always, is looking for. I have been waiting for a moment to be able to showcase my talent, and I've never got those kind of opportunities that often. I was always known as this glamorous, this cool, savvy kind of a guy. Never something never as an actor who could be taken seriously. So here, because it was a deliberate effort and consciously I was trying to do something different, and I was so lucky I got this opportunity, that it has definitely made people think of me as an actor. And I see it from the reactions, from the reviews, from the comments the fans are giving, and it's just amazing. I mean, this is something. To achieve something like this is just the beginning of my achievements. I'm just hoping the next 25 years of my life in this industry, because I've already been here for 25 years, I keep getting opportunities to prove myself, to challenge myself, and enjoy the kind of characters I work on. So I think it's an amazing time. OTT platform has given me this opportunity. Prakash Ji has given me this opportunity. he's believed in me and given me this lifetime. I mean, it was like it's a dream role, you know, to play such a negative shade. I mean, my character is so negative. There's nothing positive about it. You know, even there's no justification. He's a ruthless man, a con man. And I think these kind of characters you don't really get very often. So it's an amazing time for me right now.
Right. Mr. Prakash Jha, hearing what Bobby Deol just said, curious to know how did you think about him in a role so sinister, so crooked, in casting him as Baba Nirala?
Well, he is the perfect Bobby Baba, as you can call him. I needed a character about whom you would never think that he could do such a thing. He would be absolutely believable, charming, and you know, dark inside. So the darkness can be created, but the upper persona, the presence, etc., of Bobby was just most suitable, and I didn't think of anyone. In fact, as the character developed, Bobby grew on me, and of course, we have been wanting to work for a long time. And I called him over, and I narrated him the character, and I said, look, this is black, gray, white, whatever you call it, but this is the interesting character. He thought for only a few moments, and then he's completely fell for it. And he really has worked very hard. And I think he's done much better than I expected. It is amazing to have him and the whole bunch of other actors also working on this, because it's not only Bobby or not only me, it's the whole team which produces the kind of ambience, the kind of energy which is required for a huge series like this.
Prakash Jha, you yourself in your career away from films have been very actively involved in politics as well. But that has been a brief period. And because of the nature of subjects that you picked in your films, one would have thought your journey in politics is to actually bring about that change in the system. In a system that you have shown as corrupt, in a system that you have shown as unfair in your films. And yet you left it, and you're back to making movies, making films, you're back to television production. Were you not convinced that one at an individual level on ground can actually bring a change if you enter the real system?
Well, let me correct you a little bit. Let me put the record right. I never ever was actively involved in any politics, because I never really worked on a political platform. I did try to become a member of parliament primarily because I thought I could do a much better job of it. The guys who have represented my constituency have literally been able to do nothing, in spite of the fact that they know, I hope they know that as people representatives sitting in the parliament, they have access to massive resources, but they have not been able to tap those resources. I just thought I'll take that job and I will try and do something. Of course, if I could write an exam and qualify to become a member of parliament, I would have probably succeeded and worked very hard for that. But unfortunately, you have to contest an election, you have to get people's mandate, which I failed to get. And the 10 years that I had designated for public life came to end in 2014, and that was the end of it. Now I have, other exhilarating occupations to pursue, which I do, and I really enjoy making movies, writing stories, creating infrastructure, and doing some NGO work. That's what I do.
Right. All right. Bobby Deol, how do you think then that the world of films can really make a change on ground? Do you think something is drastically going to change in altering people's perspective? Even something as much that has been showcased in Aashram as well. While there are many real cases, while disciples have been hurt and burnt their fingers in trusting certain godmen who really turned out to be petty criminals, do you think a production such as Aashram can really have as much as an impact on ground in helping people just open up their eyes?
You know, I'm very hopeful about how it influences. I mean, it's not up to the way the ashram influences people. It's just that, you know, as we say, our country is full of such lovely, innocent people who will always keep getting conned. I mean, we in our daily lives get conned by people. They don't have to be godmen, you know. So I hope this creates that awareness and makes people understand. But people can only learn from their mistakes, which is the true reality of life, you know. So awareness is a way to make them understand their mistakes better before they make them, or even after they make them. It makes them understand that it's never too late to get back to a safer life and away from the criminal world, which is all out there to take advantage of you.
Okay. Right. Mr. Prakash Jha, final question here to you. Since you always touch upon real issues, issues on ground affecting real people here, will you be as comfortable also talking about real issues within Bollywood, not just the nepotism debate or something as black funding, black money funding, or the drug circuit, something which is real within Bollywood as well?
Well, much as I would like to, and much as I'm hearing mostly from the media and you know, things which are coming in the front, but unfortunately I have never ever dealt with people who do actually deal in drugs or mafia or black money or whatever it is. Unfortunately, we have worked in a far more organized, and I'm talking about like the entire 35-40 years of my career, I haven't really found them. Of course, we all work like an island. We set up our own project. We work with people who kind of are willing and excited about working with us. But it seems that, you know, deep down there is the other world. There is a whole lot of manipulation, nepotism, and all kinds of things happening. But I don't know if I can be called an outsider or an insider after having worked for such a long time. I have never had any problem in setting up my project. I, of course, was deeply anguished and pained that a young man like Sushant had to go, had you know, died and left such a huge vacuum, void, and anxiety, which we are all facing even today, because, you know, the whole uncertainty about how it all happened and what kind of pain the family has been put into. It definitely is not, you know, I mean, desirable, and one is definitely quite sorry and pained about it, and hope some kind of introspection happens and things do get corrected. But honestly, I really can't talk to you about, because I haven't met any actor and I haven't had any scene of drug around me. I probably live a different kind of lifestyle.
All right, we get your point on that here as well. We'll accept that. And we'll leave our discussion on that point as well. Much appreciate you speaking with us, Mr. Prakash Jha, Mr. Bobby Deol. Congratulations once again, and all the best for part 2 of season 1 as well. Thanks for being with us. It's a wrap on the big story here.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.